Your vibe coded app is real. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Last video I told you vibe coding was breaking me. And honestly, I'm still dealing with that. But the reality is that everything I built during that time, they work. My team uses them, I use them daily, and I even built a spell checker for a language that doesn't even have one, using AI and official documentation. I even built a financial analysis tool, and they've all been useful. So if you're doubting whether what you built actually matters, I want you to listen to this video. Because here's the thing. The developer in me, the creator side, has real doubts about this. When you don't write the code yourself, it feels intangible, like you can't fully own what you build. It doesn't make sense, but the feeling is there. But then I put my business owner hat on, and the answer is embarrassingly simple. Before AI, I could have outsourced all of this to a dev shop, sent a brief, got the code back, shipped it. Nobody would have questioned whether the app was real, so what's the difference now? The difference people point to is often the quality and security of the code, and that's a valid concern. But I've seen traditional dev shops produce garbage too, templatized builds that don't make any sense. But fair enough. The code AI writes tend to overcomplicate things. Nested arrays inside arrays, unnecessary abstractions. The cohesion is different. A senior dev builds with a structure that connects. AI builds each piece like it's the only thing that exists. But here's where I land on this. That's not a legitimacy problem, it's a protocol problem. I've started thinking about this in levels, and the level determines what protocols you need. Level 1. Does it solve a problem for me? If yes, it's already a valid app. I don't need anyone's permission for that. It works, I use it, it saves me time, done. Level 2. Does it solve a problem for my team? Can they interact with it? Is it easy to use? If it's running on our machines and we don't need to worry about logins or external access, the protocols are light. Build it, ship it internally, and move on. Level 3. Does it solve a problem for my clients? Now you need logins. You need to think about their data, and this is where people say vibe coding falls apart. But the security question isn't just about how you wrote the code, it's also about how you deploy it. So here's how I approach it. I standardize the tooling and set constraints on how the AI is allowed to develop. Those constraints are important. And then I flatten out dependencies as much as I can. If I can solve the problem with just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I will. If it needs a backend, I stick to Python. The fewer dependencies, the fewer things that can break or get exploited. And then on the infrastructure side, I containerize everything with Docker. Host on a core server that's completely locked down, all firewalls, no open ports, and it only communicates through a mesh VPN. Then you put a reverse proxy with a web application firewall in front of it. That's not a vibe coding solution, that's just how you secure apps, period. Now the cohesion problem, that's different. That's a scaling problem. And the way I'm handling it is through modularization. So every feature set gets treated as its own isolated thing. It gets developed in its own space with its own context. So there's a central doc that maps out what features exist and what they do. And then when AI is working on a feature, it doesn't need to hold the entire app in its head. It works in an isolated plane, builds the piece, and everything connects back at the central point. That's how you keep cohesion when a tool you're using has a tendency to lose it. And the thing is, most of the problems people have with vibe coding come down to this. They're not using protocols, they're prompting and praying. And when the app falls apart, they blame the method instead of the missing structure. Vibe coding is about making the infrastructure decisions, the tooling decisions, and making sure AI is allowed to function within your constraints. That's how you take control of it. Vibe coding or production with AI is about making the infrastructure decisions, the tooling decisions, and making sure AI is allowed to function within your constraints. That's how you take control of it. The tool you use to build it doesn't determine whether it's real. It's the output that defines it. Now, I haven't crossed every level yet. The next frontier for me is a public-facing app, the next level. Not just clients, but open to anyone. And I'm figuring that out too. But I've already discovered what works and what doesn't. And I'm going to keep building because core programming fundamentals, good choices in tools and dependencies, proper protocols and constraints, that's how you build something that's viable, valuable, scalable, and secure, whether you wrote every line yourself or not. What's one thing you've built with AI that you actually use? not a demo, not a prototype, something that's part of your daily workflow. Tell me in the comments. But if you like this, subscribe. This is Afterwork. New episode every day I actually work. If you missed the last one where I talked about how vibe coding was breaking me, go watch that one too. Links in the description.